Hi, Priya.
Hey, hi.
I have a friend who is basically a sales professional, and he is quite ambitious. He's always chasing sales quota and winning. Like, his entire goal in life is to win deals. He understands numbers and all. But like recently we had a conversation where he was also discussing that sometimes it's tricky to the line because he's also developing a few health issues, and like wherever he goes, the doctors tell him that he needs to take care of himself. Family members tell him that he needs to take care of himself because sales can be hectic and demanding. But again, which job isn't demanding? Like, which industry isn't demanding? So, like, if I were to ask you, how can someone like this strike a balance between sales quota versus self-care? What are the smarter ways of, navigating this while achieving your goals?
True, and a very important question, and it's like
Yeah.
those evergreen um, scenarios, right? We're always in this between a rock and a hard place. You have to take care of yourself, and you have something which comes in the way. It could be your
Right.
work, it could be, and in the case of the sales professional, it's always getting a customer something to progress in a customer deal, right? So it's either meeting a new customer or it's about closing a deal, so this and winning more, and ensuring that your whatever you forecasted for the quarter is you're achieving, or forecasted for the year you're achieving those numbers. So there's always that rush and pressure to deliver, and so in that context self-care is often in the back burner for almost all sales professionals. And so one of the key traits that sales professionals are expected to demonstrate is drive and energy. And and drive and energy are important, I mean, for many reasons, but primarily for two reasons in sales. Because going back to what I said, is sales is a transfer of confidence. So you need to, it's about, and transfer of confidence happens when your one person's energy is blending with the other person's energy and expectation, right? So that's where transfer of confidence, you need to showcase energy and drive, and also for you to bounce back, because resilience is a very important aspect in sales. Not all deals are going to happen, not all customer conversations are going to convert to deal closures. So there's always resilience, which is another important aspects for which you need energy and drive. You got to bounce back. You can't really go feel lack of energy and expect yourself to bounce back. So in sales, drive and energy is very important. And sometimes when you have drive and energy, if it is not balanced, and so it can lead to some dysfunctions. So you need to channel your drive and energy, right? So that's what is important when it comes to self-care and achieving quota in sales, is what I'm thinking about. Because it's not just about you. When something is going dysfunctional and the scales are tilted, it's no longer just about you. It's also cascades to the teams that you're part of. It could be teams that you lead as well if you're a sales manager, right? So traditionally sales was all about always on. I mean, it was like 24/7 you're with the customer. That was how sales has a history. And if you look back, that's what more traditional sales was all about. You're always on with the customer. But today, um it is no longer just about always on. While it is still important, being customer centric is really, really crucial and very important. We can't really downplay its significance, but it's not about the constant bombardment with the customer. Because in earlier days, sales was always being in front of the customer and happening. Today, it's about being deliberate, being deep, because customers are also doing their own research. They don't need you to be always telling about yourself or your product or services. It's they're having their own research. So it's about you taking the time to develop deep and valuable insights before your interactions. So that way, sales is also shifting. So customer centricity is also shifting. It's also about a value driven sales approach. It is not about, just as I said, just bombarding the customer with things, right? You're demonstrating value, and you're using a lot of data. There's a lot of, technology, data, insights. All of that is getting utilized. So technology integration is happening and how much you're able to leverage on it becomes crucial. And you're also focusing on building long-term relationships with your customer. And all of these are aspects that are shifted in, from the traditional lens of how sales was in those days to what is happening today. So therefore, there is plenty of time for self-care to not go off the ladder. So you're not just waiting on accelerating always to get deals. So there is always this balance between acceleration and deceleration, right? There are periods. So a salesperson needs to understand the cycle with which you're operating and therefore balance. How do I start taking care of myself, right? How do I build this work-life harmony while I'm demonstrating my drive and energy to achieve quotas? So there is so much different aspects that are governing today's sales, and you have to start leveraging on them. And most importantly, we need to start thinking about how much of the self-care can actually catapult me to achieve my sales quota. And that's what one needs to start looking for. And I'm hoping to share some insights in my next video on that, Chandrani.
Right, right, right. I'm sure everyone will be looking forward to that.
Wonderful, wonderful.